for those of you guys who don't know me and who haven't been on one of the Wednesday webinars before, which is our usual ones, my name is Donna Callender, and today what we are doing is we know basically that social media is really tricky. We know it's difficult, and we want to make it easier by taking the guesswork out of it and getting you guys some really good results. So today's webinar is sponsored by Vyra. And what we want to do today is something a little bit different to what we normally do. So what I'm doing today is I am actually doing things live. So what I want to do is help you guys get some proper content planned in literally for the next month. So without further ado, I'm going to start moving into the webinar. Now, as always, again, sorry if you've not been on this before, we've got a little Q&A button. So if you want to click on it and ask any questions, feel free to do that. I will try and answer them as I go if it comes up and it's something to do with what we're talking about at that point. But literally, if it is just anything to do with social media, anything you're not quite sure on content-wise, if you're on live, click in there into the little Q&A button and ask me a question. And for those of you who are watching on catch up, if you go into your dashboard and go to the little blue button, you can ask your question in there, and then one of us will get back to you directly. Okay, so here we go. So a little bit about me then, so that you know who's talking to you today. So my name's Donna Callender. I'm an experienced marketeer, so I've got over, I'm terrified to say, I think over 15 years now experience as a marketeer, lots of strategy, lots of social media in particular. I've worked in the retail sector pretty much the majority of my career, working with shopping centres, beds, councils, places, independent retailers, essentially doing a bit of this. Essentially, it has been helping create plans that help drive footfall, keep the tills ringing, drive sales. I have worked with lots of big property companies who basically own and manage sort of multiple shopping centres, pubs, retailers, that kind of thing. And I'm actually now an independent business owner myself. So I've been running my own business for the last, when did lockdown happen? 3 years. So I've been running for my own business for the last 3 years, my own marketing agency, and I've been working with Maybe for a very, very, very long time in all of those different guises. But essentially what I'm saying is that I completely understand your pain points, and I know how tricky it is to get the balance right when you're trying to run your own business and trying to do social and trying to do content, be a marketer, be all the things. So what I want to do is to basically take some of the learnings that I've got from the countless hours that I spend with small businesses over it. Basically, I do this every week, and we do regular Wednesday webinars, and I also train people independently as well. So I want to take some of that knowledge and help you guys today as much as I can, but I can only do that if you guys interact with me. So please, please, please use the Q&A button if you've got any questions at all, because I would much rather this was interactive and chatty. But remember, you can always catch up afterwards as well. So if there's anything you missed, please feel free to go back and watch it. So the reason why we do this is because only 19% of the UK US businesses have an active social media presence. And in contrast, 82% of consumers say social media influences their lifestyle and purchasing decisions. So what does that mean? So basically it means that the consumers are online. They're online, they're sitting with one of these, sifting through, looking for stuff. They're looking for things to buy, they're looking for things to do, looking for places to go, people to see, places to meet up. And so if you're not engaging and you're not putting content on there, and you're not regularly engaging with people on there, maybe it might be replying back to comments, or it might be supporting other businesses or talking about what's going on in your place, you're missing out, because they're on there looking, and they say that social media directly influences what they do. Why not influence them to come to you? So that's where we want to bridge the gap. We want to work with you guys, and as we do with hundreds and hundreds of businesses every single week, to help you guys bridge that gap and look at what's the, I guess, where the pain points are for you. And 9 times out of 10 for most retailers in particular, and I'm sure that a lot of the guys from Vyra would agree with that in terms of feedback, it is content. It's how do you plan your content? How do you get engaged? How do you find the time? What do you say? Where do you say it? Which channels? All of those things all tend to come under one umbrella, which tends to be all around content. So that's what I want to help you guys with today. So I am going to get started basically. So one of the best ways of thinking about content is actually taking what's already out there. So one of the easiest things to do is to look at a national event or a national month or a national campaign or a national day. Now, I think we've chosen these today And what I'm going to do is go into each one. So we've chosen Pride Month, which is obviously huge. We're in Pride Month now. We have chosen a day, which is National Best Friend Day. And we've also chosen another day, which is national, which hashtag Hug Your Cat Day. So you might be thinking, why, as a, you might be a clothing shop, you might be a bakery, you might be, you might be a bar owner, for example, you might be, any other independent retailer, to be fair, you might be a cafe owner, you might run a deli, but whatever you do, you could quite literally get involved in any three of these conversations. And what I want you to pay attention to for now is the number. So for Pride Month, there are currently 11.1 million conversations happening on social media right now, on Instagram in particular, about Pride Month and using this hashtag. For National Best Friends Day, there are 3.65 million conversations for National Best Friend Day. And for Hug Your Cat Day, okay, slightly less to be fair, but 79,000 conversations are happening about Hug Your Cat Day. Now, the reason why we've chosen these is because every month there are hundreds of different national days, national months. Some of them are big, like the Pride Month conversation. Some are a little bit smaller, and it could be National Donut Day, Pretzel Day, that kind of thing. And then what we've done is we've pulled all of them together on the platform for you to try and make life easier. And what I want to do today is get interactive. So what I want to do is go into each one. I'm going to pull out some of the top posts from different types of businesses, so that then I guess you, depending on what kind of retailer you are, you can take something away from it, and give yourself, I guess, some little ideas for content. And then what we're going to do after that is we're going to get into talking about engagements. It's a little bit later, but basically posting content is half the battle. And then the next bit is actually keeping people engaged and talking to you in order to make sure that you actually drive people down to your place, to your physical place. And indeed, if you want anyone to buy from you online as well, it's exactly the same. So I am going to start with Pride Month, guys. So this is a huge month, and whether you have done anything to support it so far or not done anything to support it so far, doesn't matter to me, totally down to you guys. But what I want to do is show you the breadth of the conversation and how to harness it. So when you use a hashtag on social media, particularly on the likes of Instagram, this is what comes up. So when you click into a hashtag, this is it. So here you'll see hashtag Pride Month, and then you'll see this is the number of posts that have been generated. And what it does is at the top, it gives you the top posts. So the top most recent posts, and by top, it is the most engaged posts. So AKA, it is the posts that have the most number of comments, the most number of likes, comments, it might be shares, it might be saves, that kind of thing. And then so really, one of the biggest things that you can do is get involved in a conversation that is a big topic. And then how you harness that is up to you, whether you choose to take said post, so AKA a really, really big one, and then turn that into your own post and talk about it and say, I saw this on another account, I absolutely loved it, that's great. Or it might be that you take some inspiration from some of these posts and then look at how you could do that locally. Because imagine owning a part of this conversation in your local place. So what I'm going to do is to go into a couple that I've already had a little bit of a look at. So the first one the reason why you can only see a couple of likes on here, just so you know, it's because it's literally just gone up. So when you're going into these, this says 3 minutes ago. So this is nail inspiration. Now, what this person has done is they have taken a little carousel with a little video of their nail inspiration. They've chosen sort of Pride inspired colours, and they have posted it with the main image here and the little video there to show it. Now, why would I be showing you this? The reason why I'm showing you this is because it is simple. If you sell a product that is something to do with a topic, like say Pride Month, or it might be one of the other sort of national campaigns, like Race for Life, that kind of thing's coming up. So it might be something to do with pink, for example. If you've got anything to do with colors, anything like that, one of the best ways of showing your product is using the hashtag. And then it is doing something like this. It is showing, it might be showing physically how something is made, but you capture their attention with the image first of all. And then either it might be a video of you showing how it all looks, or indeed it might be of you physically making said thing, whether it's pottery, whether it is a cake that you've done, you know, I don't know, a Pride inspired cake, for example, whether you've made cookies. It doesn't matter what it is, but this is one of the really classic ways on Instagram of showing off how you have harnessed a theme. And that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about something that's an amazing big topic of conversation, but it's the theme ultimately at the end of the day. And this is the type of thing that you can do to harness that. Now, where were some of the other ones? I literally looked at this about 15 minutes ago, and guess what? There's even more, which means that the ones that I looked at have gone a little bit further down. So you can see lots of different businesses, lots of different people are doing lots of different things. Lots of influencers are doing lots of makeup inspired posts, which you would 100% expect, which again are really cool. If you are a, you know, you might be a beauty salon owner or something like that, there's no harm in you taking something like this and reposting it as your own and saying, you know, come on guys, what do you think of this? Is this something that you would do just for art? Or actually, here's how we would do it in the salon if you were getting ready for your next Pride event or something like that. Here, you can see lots and lots and lots. So some of them have been as simple as it's just Happy Pride Day here. So, or sorry, Happy Pride Month. So here it is something really, really simple that again, you could take and repurpose. If you haven't come up with your own content, you can take it and repurpose it and turn it into something that you can use as well. And you can see they've used hashtag Pride Month. Here, going back to the food. Again, it is little bits like this that can go a long, long way. It might even be that you are a clothing shop and you want to collaborate with your local bakery and have, I don't know, Pride inspired colours on little cupcakes that you give out for a day, for example. There's little things like that you can do very, very easily. So it's just thinking about a hashtag is basically everybody's talking about a topic, a conversation. And then when you're in the conversation, it is taking inspiration from what other people are doing and thinking about how you can do that yourself. And it equally makes you think about, well, what's coming up in future? And then how can I kind of harness that for my own business as well? So there's so many different ways of doing it. But again, always make sure if you are repurposing someone else's content, so say, I don't know, this floats your boat, then you could take this and then make sure that you tag them. So here what you can see is indulge in this. With rainbow sweets and sprinkles, hashtag Pride Month, and then it's saying the After School Cookie Club has specially designed box of 4 cookies available just for June for client gifts, afternoon tea or board meetings. So again, it's not too late to do anything like this, but make sure if you are repurposing someone else's that you tag them in, which is basically just @ing them. Make sure that they're tagged in. But it is really, really simple stuff, guys. But look how big this conversation is. There's so many different ways that you could take inspiration from that. I mean, oh, look at them, they look absolutely delicious. The other thing I was going to say, some of the biggest conversations would be in your place. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute, but this is just one. I mean, this is a Pride event and it's saying when it's happening, and this is basically they're just saying, so it's the LGBT Montana, and then they have tagged in the person who is going to be basically representing them at Pride. And what they've done is they've just showed what the previous Pride event was in the background and then put in the image. Now, I'm not saying that you have to hold your own Pride event, but the likelihood of there being a Pride event in your area is actually relatively high. So make sure you are keeping an eye on your local Pride events. You make sure you're keeping an eye on your local council websites, your local bid websites, things like that, because and sorry, on all their social media, make sure you're following them, because again, they'll be posting about things like this. And even if you don't want to take part, there might be people who come along to your business who do want to take part and want to see that you're getting involved in a conversation like this. So that's why make sure that you're doing it, and then you can literally just repost it. Now, going from talking about 11 million conversations to a very, very different one. So this is something that pretty much anybody can get behind. Now, this is National Best Friends Day. Now, again, we put all this together in your calendar for you, so that we can ensure that you guys know when all the dates are coming up, so that you know what's coming. So I wanted to show you. So here, there's over 2 million conversations at the moment, or 2 million posts. Imagine you collaborated with maybe another business, or it might even be your work bestie. There might be, there might be a, member of your team who you absolutely love. You did something for National Best Friend Day. So when you think about National Best Friends Day, I want to think about the types of businesses who would benefit from talking about this before I go into this. So gifting, anything to do with gifting, National Best Friends Day or anything like this is gold, because you have a reason to get people to tag in a friend. That is what the likes of a National Best Friend Day does. It makes me want to, so say you wanted to promote your friendship bracelets or a birthday gift or something for your bestie, or something that matched, it might be a coffee cup or anything like that. Or it could be something like that you have an afternoon tea that you want to sell, or you've got a hamper that you want to sell, or anything that I guess you can either gift or do with another person. What's bestie? What does bestie mean to you? That's what it means to the rest of us. So sharing using National Best Friend Day would make me look through that conversation and go, oh, I need to tag in my bestie. I love this. Now, one of the best ways of getting people to tag in a friend is this. It is a quote. So I'm going to click on this one. So here it doesn't even really matter the business itself. So finally, a boss lady. But here it says, true friends are the ones who lift you up when no one else has noticed that you've fallen. Now that could be a generic quote from quite literally anything, anyone. You can find these on your own on Canva. You can Google them and repurpose these and make them your own, or you could take this one, and as long as you tag her in, I'm assuming it's a she, but tag in the boss lady, to say that you saw this and actually you think it would really resonate with a lot of your customers, just take it, use it. This is what it's all about. This content is here. You can take it and use it. And guess what? Look at the fact all these people are engaging in these conversations. So you've had here, cheers to the true friends who help us when we fall, even when the rest of the world turns a blind eye. Let's honour the power of sisterhood and the incredible strength of women supporting women on National Best Friend Day. Celebrate it by sharing this with your besties. So they've told us, we just want you to share this with your besties. And then they've done it in different colours, so the different brand colours. But ultimately, right, it is fairly, it's nice, but it's fairly generic. It is pretty bog standard. So if you don't want to come up with your own, do this, because guess what? You will get people that will tag in their bestie on this one that goes, oh my God, you really lift me up. I remember that time when, I don't know, they had a breakup or something like that. So really, it doesn't matter what retailer you are. It doesn't matter at all. This is actually about what connects with people. And I always talk about hit people in the funnies or hit them in the feels. And this is one of the best ways to do that. It is to get them, hit them in the feels. And National Best Friend Day is all about that. It is about inspiring people to tag in their bestie. So if we took that then a little bit further, this, now, I don't know if you in your local area have seen, but guaranteed you will have people in your local area whose dogs have their own Instagram accounts and whose cats have their own Instagram accounts and their guinea pigs and whatever else have their own Instagram accounts. Now, this is brilliant. So it, again, doesn't really matter what the account is or even really what the post is about. This is the lady, this is her bestie, and it's an absolutely big bear of a dog. It's a Newfoundland. And so on Happy National Best Friend Day, she is just sharing a picture of her loving life with her dog. Now, again, doesn't really matter what it is she's selling. The point is, in fact, she's not really selling anything. The point is that everybody loves dogs. Everyone loves cats. Everyone loves animals on social media. So using this as inspiration, I guess, guys, think about what is a best friend. A best friend, they always talk about, the dogs being man's best friend, don't they? Or human's best friend. So think about it like that. Think about that. What's your bestie? Now, I always say to my daughter, she's 5, and I always talk about how she's my little bestie, and we do like little bestie things together. So again, I would 100% use National Best Friend Day and maybe post something about my daughter. For you, it might be the dog, it might be the cat, it might be the woman down the road. So it can sometimes be personal. Sometimes being personal as a business can actually help. So it could just be that actually you want to show people buy from people, and you want to show the people behind the business, and not always just it being about selling and the product or anything. This is about engagement. So what you want to do is drive people to tag in a friend. People love sharing dogs, cats, kids, all that kind of thing. People love seeing the people behind the business. So if you've got anything like that, make sure these are the types of hashtags that you should be using to try and get some of that kind of inspiration. And again, another good one, sorry. When me and my bestie wear the same outfit, but in different fonts. So again, I absolutely love this. This is Shop Cider. So Cider is it's not a drinks brand, it is a fashion brand, one that I actually really like. So it's a fashion brand, and they have used this, or like princess inspiration, if you like, to show this is what two besties look like when basically they wear the same thing, but just in slightly different like shades. And then they put National Best Friends Day, spending hours, outfit planning, getting distracted by the new Kim X Paris collab. You somehow missed, ditching all plans and ordering Taco Bell, hashtag Shop Cider, hashtag National Best Friend Day. So that is just brilliant. It's just brilliant because if you're a fashion brand and you understand your customer, why wouldn't you want to connect with them in this kind of way? You would 100% want them to go, right, okay, this is all about connecting people like with the funnies, I guess is how I would say it. So it's connecting with people in that kind of mood. I would tag in one of my besties, like if you kind of like coordinate your outfits or anything like that, it's just fun. So think about it, hit people in the funnies or hit people in the feels with these kind of national days. And remember, when we go back to that kind of engagement piece, if you could own this conversation in your local area, then think of all the people that will be jumping on your post, all the people that are going to be tagging people in your post, and that'll be businesses, it'll be people, might be your local council, that kind of thing. You'll all be engaging, and that's what this is all about, is really owning a conversation. And then this one is a bit of a random one, I'm not going to lie to you, but do you know what they all are? And some of the best ones that you can get involved in are, so this is for Hug Your Cat Day. And as you can see, there's been, well, I think at that point there was 70,000 posts, but yeah, so there's 49,000 current posts on that one. And it's everyone from these little guys who have their own Instagram accounts, right through to basically people who just absolutely love their cats. Doesn't matter what they're selling. But this one, so this is a coffee company, and funnily enough, it's called Tabby Cat Coffee Company. And they have shown, I mean, there's a little subtle hint there to the cats, as you can see there on the left with the little cat bowls. But really, when you're looking at it, I'd be like, why is this anything to do with Hug Your Cat Day? It's a bit weird. And then when you click on it, you realize actually it's about the content. So the coffee might just capture my attention. Then it's, do you like your coffee beans whole so you can grind them yourself? Whichever way, we've got, basically they're talking about the different options. So they're asking people what they want, but they've used the hashtag to get people interested who love their cat. So if you're posting anything or looking through Hug Your Cat content, you're a cat lover. If you've got anything to do with cats, you sell anything to do with cats, or pets, to be honest, generally, then it's a good hashtag to be involved in. So just think about that, or it might even be that you've got a resident cat in your business. So it's thinking about how you can use that to promote your product. So we've looked at, I guess, how you can get people to share and engage. And then this one is more about genuinely selling your product. They're not really even mentioning how much they love cats. This is just they clearly must love cats if that's their business name. And then, as you can see, lots of people have done, like, obviously you'll have like your vet surgeries and that kind of thing. But a lot of people have just done like little memes, little GIFs. This one I particularly liked as well, because it's a dog. This is just their happy place. And then it's reshared from someone else's account. And then they've actually used Hug Your Cat Day. Now, I love that because it feels a bit random, but why not? Why not get involved in Hug Your Cat Day? Because if you're following Hug Your Cat Day, maybe you like dogs as well. So it's that kind of idea that just because it's not your direct product that you're selling, if in any way that national content relates back to something that you do, whether it's a passion that you have, someone in your business, it might be the animal, something like that. Or it might even be that you just see something like this and you just think it's super cute. Budget Pet World. Warm feline hugs await you, hashtag Hug Your Cat Day. I mean, any business could repost that and say how super cute it was, and people would tag their friend in it because they love cats. That is how simple these things are, guys. And my job, I guess, today is to give you guys some inspiration from some of the top posts within these topics, and then teach you guys how you can use the yourself. So speaking of that, one of the things that we do is we basically help you. So we have looked at Hug Your Cat Day. So hopefully you've taken some cat inspiration. Have you taken some Pride inspiration? Have you taken some inspiration on Best Friend Day? There are hundreds of thousands of other national days. And one of the things we do is we want to help you guys get better at content and make it easier for you. So here, when you actually arrive on the dashboard, can you see here? We've got our new AI tool, which I'm going to show you guys. It's amazing. So you can see, you can create new posts in there. You can help look at how your audience is feeling. It can basically help you create physical posts, which I'm going to show you how to create content for the next few weeks. But you can also look at everything from scheduling in your content, replying back to people's comments and mentions. You can look at anyone that's engaged with you before and then how you can engage back with them. Here is the rest of your dashboard. So you can look at most used hashtags. You can compare all of these stats to any other business as well. So say you're a clothing retailer, you can compare it to the clothing retailer down the road, or you can compare it to Shopsider that we just looked at. You can see what's being said about you. So that's this little box here, what's being said about you by your customers and what's been said to you. So really what you would want is lots of obviously positive stuff. But say you were talking about National Best Friends Day, you want people on your thing to be talking about National Best Friend Day. And if they are, your content's working. So that's the kind of idea behind it, guys. And then here you can also do your ads. So one of the things that we did was we worked with Law & Co, which is an independent fashion retailer. We worked with her pretty much through lockdowns. And she had no idea how to do an ad before. And then literally she is now spending, so she's now spent £856 on ads. And she has generated 10.5 grand. Not bad. And that is literally through using our platform, using Maybe platform to get better at social. So we also run loads of training on this kind of stuff on a Thursday and a Friday if you want any help with it. On a Friday, it is ads if you already have done them before and you want to get better. And then we also have ads for beginners as well. So please just go into the platform, click on the blue button if you want to book any of your training. But as you can see here, we give you everything. So our job basically is to help you guys look at how many things you've sold, what your value is, and we try and get your conversion rates sorted. We try and make sure that basically what you are spending is a lot less than what you are earning. That's what we want. And then you can also go into here. So these are our social media success stories. So we've got all the tools and training in there for you. So literally this is this kind of stuff. When I say I spend hours every week training businesses, this is quite literally what I do. I work with retailers and primarily, and it is all about doing a thing. So it's how to get engagement from your customers. If you are, I don't know, a bakery, it might be how to create more reviews on social media, that kind of thing. So it's all in there. There's loads of great video content in there. And then this is what we do. This is how we do it. So this is what I'm about to go in and show you guys live, is how to create that content. So in here, this is an example of, this is Law & Co. This is an example of her content calendar. So here is in the various colors. So these are the posts that she's already got scheduled in for the week. So you can see it's at least one a day. And the different colors are, you have Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter all in. And then can you see these little things here in red? These are the national days. So what we've done is we've physically plugged in all the national days. So here on the 8th, for example, was National Best Friends Day. So that is, I would want to go, what can I do with that content now? Right, okay, what is coming up? so that I can look at how I can plan in my content ahead of time. And so we want to make it easier, so it's all in there for you in the platform. And then there's this bad boy. So here we have our Maybe AI system. So we have literally integrated with chat, and in here we then say, can you give us inspiration? I'll show you this live. Can you give us inspiration? And so here there's National Gardening Week, and then it will physically write your content for you with emojis, with hashtags. All you need to do is add in an image and you're sorted. So when I say we want to make your life easier, this is how we do it. So I'm just going to take you through to the dashboard just now. And whilst that's loading, I'm just going to read a question. Right, Andy, I'm going to reply back to you. So firstly, thank you for this. It's very helpful. We're new to social media for our business. We do a little bit on Facebook by posting offers on our page. We do not use Instagram. My question is, should we be using Instagram instead of or as well as Facebook? So that depends on what type of business you are. So if you could give me some more information on what type of business you are. So, you know, like what do you sell basically, and who do you sell it to? And that would be handy. And I will kind of give you, I suppose, a better answer than if I come off the back. But essentially, what we normally say to people is you should be using multiple channels because your customers are usually in a few places. But a Facebook customer is very different to an Instagram customer. They operate differently. So one of the things that I would say is by using the dashboard. So here, for example, what would normally come up. So say, Andy, say you start posting on Instagram and on Facebook. What this will do is every week it will tell you what your best post was. And by best, it is your most engaged post, aka the one that people have talked to you, are engaged with in some way, shape or form. So they've liked it, they've commented on it, they've shared it. So here you can see this is a maybe Instagram post. Now, if every week I was coming in here and it was Instagram every single time, I would then be looking at, right, okay, is Instagram my most engaged platform? If it is, brilliant. Okay, I use more of that. If, Andy, it was Facebook, then I would be doing more of Facebook. Doesn't mean you get rid of Instagram or you don't do it, but it means that if people are getting more engaged in Facebook, then that's where your people are. But equally, it is also looking at a competitor. So I would take your competitor or, you know, another business that's within your sort of sphere, add it in here, and then you can start looking at everything from literally their stats and stuff. So here, it's about taking inspiration from other people. You're not stealing any ideas. You're just taking inspiration from them. If you know they do it well, and say they do Facebook well, or they do Instagram well, there's a reason why. So you want to be looking at what their stats are. You want to look at how many followers they've got, the number of posts per day they're doing, that kind of thing. But really, at the beginning, it is about, do they do well on Instagram or do they do well on Facebook? Which one are they in? Which type of post are you getting the most engagement from? And then that's what you want to focus on. Okay, so I am going to go back to that in a second. Just going to move this down. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to create a selection of posts. So you see here, we're in Maybe now, we're in the AI. So I want to create a selection of posts, and whilst that's loading, I'll answer. So you're a traditional retail shop selling tools and ironmongery, okay, well known in the local area, that's great. Should be posting the same content to both Instagram and Facebook at the same time. So Andy, for you, I assume your customers are going to be very specific type of customers. It's quite a niche thing that you do. So I guess really for something like for you, I would probably suggest Facebook is going to be where you're going to get things like recommendations. So selling things like, you know, like to do with like ironmongery and tools and things like that. Like, again, I work with quite a lot of, not quite a trade, but, you know, like trade inspired businesses, if you like, where trades or people that maybe say buying those kind of tools are looking on Facebook because they're on Facebook because they're constantly getting recommendations. Have you ever been in one of your local group? I don't know, for me, I live in Aylesbury, and in Aylesbury, they're constantly recommending people. So it's constantly like tagging in that business and saying, oh, I recommend them for X, Y, and Z in these groups. But Instagram operates really differently. Instagram is where they can literally shop. So you could create your own shop on there, or it might be that they're actually just looking for inspiration. So they would be using hashtags that are related back to your business. So my suggestion would be that you need to look at who your customer is. So who would be your normal customer? And then looking at so say it was a type of business, I would be then looking at those businesses and looking at where they are. Are they mainly on Facebook? Are they mainly on Instagram? If there's less on Instagram, but there are a few on there, you can link Facebook and Instagram so that every time you post on Facebook, it goes directly into Instagram, or vice versa. If your main people are on Instagram, you can post on Instagram and it links directly back to Facebook. So you don't have to post between the two. There's nothing wrong with those, by the way. Just make sure if you are scheduling those in, make sure that if you're tagging in, say, a place or a business, that you do it properly, because usually people's Instagram handles and Facebook handles are slightly different. But that would be my sort of like, you know, top of my head and view on it just now, is to have a look at who your target customers are, and then looking at if they have active social media accounts, and if they have, then I would be on Instagram. But there are actually a lot of businesses that are like yours that are on Instagram, but again, for Instagram, it would be less about trying to get reviews and things like that. And Instagram, it's more of a shop window. So it would be showing things like, how are your products made on site? How do you source them? Do you use locally sourced X, Y, and Z? Tagging in your local place. Do you do any sales events, anything like that? Making sure that that's on Instagram. Facebook, and making sure you're engaged in all the local community groups as well. So I hope that helps for now. And I'll come back to that if there's any more questions on it. That's quite a tricky one, I must admit. I like that, it was good. Right, so I clicked to create posts. And then you'll see here on the right-hand side, it says, welcome to Maybe AI. I'm an AI assistant here to help you with your social media marketing. If any content is missing and you need me to continue, just type continue. Feel free to ask questions in this chat. So you would click on this button, but can you see that some of these things that are coming up? So for example, it is, it is National Picnic Week. So I maybe want to create posts about picnics. So you might be that you sell cakes, it might be that you sell hampers, it might be you sell baskets or anything like that to do with picnics. Or it might just be that actually your customers are all family and you want to promote activities, for example, in your area. So I would click on this as my inspiration. This sometimes takes a wee second, guys, so I'm just going to let you know that, because we're on Zoom, everything just takes that extra little minute. So this could be content for an entire week. Thinking about it, that's a national week. And you might even be, you know, it might be actually that what to wear to a picnic if you're focusing on mums, if you're a clothing retailer, for example. But let's stick with, say you are food-based. So here, it's come up with the national hashtag. So it's saying it's National Picnic Week. And then here it's given me all of the hashtags that I could use. Now, I might want to create a post on Instagram. So this is then what my post would look like. Now, I might decide, just move this down. So, write a post on the top 5 picnic, I have like a spell picnic essentials for a family. Now, let's hope it comes up with something here. Right, so then I go here, AI, this is my AI assistant within here, and then I might want to write something exciting. Now, the idea with this is, guys, this does not know you yet. It will learn you. This is what this is all about. Think of AI as like your little baby. But the idea is that you've now got a theme. So we've chosen, you know, it might be for best friends, it might be picnic day, whatever, but you've got a theme for the week. So I want to spend every day, I want to give some top tips, because top tips are a really good way of adding value. So here, are you ready for National Picnic Week this year? Make sure your family is prepared with the top 5 picnic essentials, from a sturdy blanket to tasty snacks. We've got you covered. So say you sell those things, brilliant, you're covered. Or I might go, do you know what, I actually don't sell any blankets, however I do sell X, Y, and Z. So what I might then do is I might want to add in, because actually I saw a really good blog the other day about how to pack the perfect picnic. So I might go to, say, BBC Good Food. And I might want to write something about plastic cups or bottles as one of my top tips. So literally you could copy this entire blog, just so you know. There we go, copy. And then I am going to go back to the Maybe platform. So I've just copied something for BBC Good Food, but literally you could copy this from anywhere. Here is top tip 1. And then I can copy and paste any blog. So say you've already written a blog on something, pop it in there. And then I want AI to summarize that, because actually it's really too long and boring for now. So I want to summarize that into an Instagram post. There you go. The first tip for National Picnic Week UK is to use plastic cups or bottles to avoid breakages. If you're bringing wine glasses, considering packing a lightweight tray to use during pouring and between sips. If you're sampling cork sealed wine, don't forget the bottle opener. Do you see how easy that was? I literally just copied and pasted some tips from someone else, chucked it in there, clicked on it, and it summarized it for me. I could even tag in products. If I sell any of these products, I can tag them in. And there I can literally add in an image. So let me just add in a little image of something. Wonderful. And it will crop it for you. And then here, I want to make sure that I have add in hashtags, add in emojis. And do you know what, actually, I have quite a lot of Spanish customers, so I might want to change it to Spanish. There you go, guys. That is how simple this is. So we have given you the week, the national week. We have then shown you that either this can create the content for you, or you can copy and paste it from something else, your own blog, a magazine, you know, a press article you've seen. You can type it in, and then you can translate it into quite literally any language. You can shorten it, you can make it funnier, you can make it snappier. Equally, you can change the tone. So you want to make it friendly, you want to make it professional, you want to make it fun. I've added in the image. Oh, and this is what it's going to look like on my Instagram feed. And now all I'm going to do is add in my location, and then I would schedule in the post. So literally to schedule it, I click here, and I want that to go out on Sunday because it's the start of National Picnic Week and I want to start it then. You do that, you schedule in the post. I'm not going to schedule that because I'm not, obviously, you know, this is a practice post, guys. But that is as simple as it gets, or you can do it to share now. Now, I then might want to take that and turn it into, once I've done that, I would then want to turn that into a nice Facebook post. And then it's saying, do you want to re-upload this image to optimize it for the new channel? Yes. I want to do a Facebook post about this exact thing. So here, I might want this to be a little bit different. So I want to summarize this as a Facebook post now. There we go. I've got all the right hashtags. I've got the right emojis. And then I'll just add in my image and then it would come up there. Again, very simple. So I've now, within a couple of minutes, I've scheduled in a Facebook post and an Instagram post. If you did this for your week, literally spent 15 minutes, as long as you know what national day you want to do, you are sorted. And then if I go back on, can you guys see this little bit at the bottom right here? So I've gone on here and this is my little AI. So it's asked me, do you want to add in any questions? So I've clicked here to say that it can create multiple unique posts for each platform. So it's going to work on it based on the type of business that I am. So here you go. So this is what it gave me initially. So this is nothing to do with this. This is basically just me coming on fresh. What post could I post on a Wednesday? Facebook, I want to post Happy Wednesday. So this is what it's learned about me so far. So I am going to copy and paste this. So it knows that that maybe is a tech company. So it has written me content for what I could write on a Wednesday to inspire businesses like maybe yourselves. Happy Wednesday. Organization, I would put that as maybe. There you go. We're feeling inspired by some of our past posts. We want to share them with you. Check out our top performing posts and then click which one is your favorite. We add in the image. It shows you what it looks like on Facebook, but there you go. A slightly different one on Instagram. I just copy and paste it. It learns everything. It learns what type of posts work for you. It learns what your customers would get engaged with, and then it literally, you just copy and paste it and pop it in there. And then going back to then our content calendar, I'll show you where it all sits. Right, so I've got a few questions, so I'm just going to run through a couple. If we have missed National Best Friends Day, the actual date, can we still post relevant content, or has that moment's passed? We are a gift shop. Claire, 2 Ducks Lifestyle. Right, okay, Claire. Yes, you can. Because guess what? That conversation still happened. It's still going on. So if you've missed the day, what you could do is, in fact, did you see some of the posts that we actually showed you? I think someone had missed the National Hugger Cat Day, I think it was. So yes, you can 100% go back in there, and you can might be that you take someone else's post and say, we totally missed this. You can still use it, or indeed, you can still go in and engage with it. You can still go in and engage within the conversation. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. So just because you miss a national day or date doesn't mean you can't go back and engage with it in some way, shape or form. So say it is National Best Friends Day, and actually gifting, for example, Claire, if you want to promote that it was National Best Friends Day, I would 100% do it. Just say, just like we miss our best friends sometimes, we sadly miss National Best Friends Day, but we still love our besties. So here's 2 friendship bracelets that we're giving away today, tag in a best friend. It's as simple as that. Just because you've missed it doesn't mean you can't do something on it. Now here, guys, going back, these are all the national days that we've just been talking about. And then here would be where all of your posts are. So you can start seeing them. And I think hopefully you'll see with me how easy that was for me just to go in and create that off the back of literally going National Picnic Week. Oh my goodness, what's that about? So do you see what I mean? It is simple, simple, simple stuff. Now, going back into the rest of it, posting, as I say, is actually half the battle, because engagement is everything. So one of the things that we want to make sure that you guys are doing is joining conversations locally where your customers are spending time. So when you go back into the platform, engagement basically means that you should be going into, say, local businesses, your local beds, your local organizations. It might be a local shopping center, anything like that, and engaging with their content. The more you engage within a place, the more the conversation in the place thrives, the more that people will get involved in that conversation. That's what it's all about, is local hashtags. So say we went into, go into location. I think I want to go to Putney, because I love Putney. Now, the reason why I love Putney is because we worked with these guys for quite a long time on a lot of their engagement side of things. So it's basically all about bringing businesses together and getting them all engaging in a place. And one of the things that we're doing is working with Vyra on that, which I'm going to talk to you guys about in a little second. But here would be, just moving my face out of the way, guys. This is any business that is getting engagement on their posts within Putney. So here is Mentor Loop. Okay, that's at 41 likes. So as a local retailer, why wouldn't I want to engage with that? Mama Well UK. Now, she always gets really good engagement. It's, as you kind of does what it says on the tin, it is about feet in, mum's wellness, that sort of thing. So she's had 167 people like this post. She's had 23 comments. This is about starting exercise postpartum. If I was a fashion retailer locally, I would 100% engage with this. By engagement is go in there, comment on it, takes you straight through to the post, you comment in there. I can even share that post myself if I think that it might resonate with some of my customers. It doesn't matter whether you sell smoothies or whether you're, as I said, a bakery or a clothing retailer. This is about supporting other businesses in your place, because the more that you do that, the more that you digitally signpost people back to you. Because guess what? If people are engaging with Mama Well, people are engaging with the Boathouse, if people are engaging with the Lemonade and Illustration Agency, then they are people in your local area, and it's the best way to drive footfall is back to you. So do not in any way sort of underestimate how powerful this stuff is. It is gold. So go into your Maybe platform, go in, click your location, and make sure you are liking, commenting. It could take you 10 minutes, but honestly, it is gold dust. And speaking of local, one of the things that we're doing with BIRA is we are making sure that we are going to provide a local guide. So what this is a digital guide back that is, how would I describe it? It's a digital high street. It shows your high street. So this is basically all you need to be able to do is post on Instagram. So this actually, Andy, sorry, this does go back to you. You would need to be posting on Instagram for you to be picked up on this. But essentially, we've done this for pretty much every place in the country. What we're doing with working with BIRA on making sure that you guys feel confident enough with the likes of Instagram to show up on here. So this is, I think we're in Putney, and this is their local guide. So what comes up here is basically, if I walked down my local high street in, say, Putney, I would then start seeing what is going on. It's the flurry of amazing activity. So here you will see that there's a hospitality festival, and the only reason why I'm picking this up is because they posted on Instagram. It posts it all in there, and we can start going through it, and we can go a reward system as we've seen before. But you've got the hospitality festivals coming up. That's great. If I live locally, I then want to find out where that is. I want to find out what time it's at, and I want to be able to go and get involved in that. That's brilliant. I can go straight to their Twitter. I could go straight to their Instagram. Here we go. We've got London Square Developments. Okay, brilliant. I live in the local area and I'm interested in finding out about the houses that are there. I'm interested in finding out about the physio that's there. This is gold, because this basically is, instead of me having to go through hashtags and find what's going on in my local area, I can actually go onto the guide and then I can find it all there, that flurry of activity. This is why posting on Instagram is so important. And this is exactly what we're doing with BIRA to make sure that we support you guys. Sorry, I've got loads of questions. I'm just going to pause for a second because I don't want to miss anyone. So we've done that one, done. And how often should we post on Facebook and Instagram? Now, if you had lots of time, I would say you should do a post at least every day, if I'm being really honest. I would love you guys to post every day, to do something every day. So whether that's even a story and a post, or that you just do 3 posts a week and a couple of stories, being on there and being present is very, very strong. But if you don't have the ability to be able to do that because you don't have the time, go on to maybe schedule it in. Do a couple of posts a week, and then when you're out and about and you're doing your thing each day, whether it's making a coffee or you're talking to your team members, put those things on stories so that you're active. It's about being active. But to be honest, there's no one size fits all when it comes to posting every day. That's something that you learn as you keep going through the Maybe platform, to be honest. No worries, Andy. What is the typical maximum age of an Instagram user? Many 45-year-old men. It's all changing constantly, if I'm being really honest with you, because the platforms change, the algorithms change, and people's behaviors change. If you'd have asked me that before COVID and lockdown, I would have told you it was a much younger platform. It is for, you know, that kind of basically sort of older than TikTok, but not so much as, say, Facebook, for example. I would have 100% have put people into little categories and said, yeah, it's where you go for, you know, like your 20-somethings, 30-somethings. That's who's on Instagram. Now, completely different. We showcase businesses on here who are fashion retailers for women over 60, and they are selling like hotcakes on Instagram, because people have changed. We were all stuck inside for a year and we were all sitting scrolling. So trust me when I say Instagram is a very different space now to what it used to be. It's about how people use it, and it's about what kind of products you sell. So yeah, that's a harder question than you would weirdly think, because it kind of depends on your business, I guess, guys. So this is every local high street has their own guide. To show up, all you need to do is post on Instagram. If you don't know how to post on Instagram, come along to one of our training sessions. This is what we're doing every single week. When I say we train businesses, we literally do train them. But everything, we get you to your dashboard, we get you in here, we get you looking at all of the awareness days, looking at content, all that kind of thing. But actually then we physically can train you on how to actually do the content itself. If you aren't even sure how to set up your Instagram properly, we can genuinely help you do those things through our training as well. But as I say, this is where it all is. Go into your content calendar, go in there and look at the national days that are coming up. Even if you want to go back and do one of the old ones, that's fine. Click in it and use our AI system to create that content for you. Click a button and it generates a week's worth, if you like, of content. You could do that once a month. You've got a month's worth of content all there, and it could be based around the national days, or it can be based around a theme of your choice, as I say, by copying and pasting, things like that. So as you can see, we work with loads of different types of businesses, and we have such amazing feedback. So here you can see the Cupcake Oven, for example. They've said that our training area, there's training in every area you need as a platform. So literally come on, get involved, book your training in with us. We have training Monday through to Friday. And although we do this webinar for Byra once a month, we also have every Wednesday I'm here. So every Wednesday I will be here and I go through kind of what we've done today, except I look at, last week I think we looked at Reels. So I literally showed you guys how to do Reels, how to look at hashtags on Reels, how to tag on Reels. On a Friday, as I said, we do advanced Facebook ads. On Monday, it is how to use Maybe. On a Tuesday, it is how to use social, basically, you know, like really, really little bits and bobs that you might want to know about how to use a channel. We show you guys. And as you can see, people have seen a huge result from doing this, but it is just about engage with us. The more you engage with us, the more that we can help you guys with your businesses. And as you say, that so we are a data-driven AI platform, helps over 25,000 clients reach the right audience with the right message at the right time. This is what we do. So when I say we have lots of training, look at this. We've got over 500 video training guides and assets that we can do, and we've helped over 25,000 businesses. So we've seen it all before. I promise you, there's never a silly question. Just come on board and ask. If you're not sure, ask. That's what we're all about. And when you go into the platform, there's a bunch of us in the background. Look at everyone's lovely faces. So you've got me, but then you've got a big team of people that are everything from advanced Facebook ads knowledge right through to someone who can tell you all the intricacies of the actual platform. So there's never a question that we won't be able to answer, guys. So just get in, and when you go onto the platform, there's a little blue button at the bottom, and all you have to do is click on it and ask the question, and we will do the rest for you, okay? So just to recap, you can get personalized content created on demand. So literally as quickly as I've just done that, on demand, done. You can engage with other local businesses, which is the best way of harnessing that conversation and getting people to actually come and do the thing, which usually is step over your threshold. And we're there 24/7. Between us and our little AI friend, we are there. We are always there to answer any questions, whether it's a blog, a video that we can give you, or indeed we'll send you to our direct training session, or we can arrange something directly with you. So guys, take the guesswork out of social media.